So whenever I see a graph on a test, I think it's good to, before you even dive into the question and read everything, to really look at that graph and figure out what's going on. So here, this graph is showing two trains traveling to Columbus, Ohio, and it's showing the time here, so it's 6 a.m., where each of those trains are. The red dot is train B, and the blue line is train A. So it's showing us at 6 a.m., train B is 1,200 miles away from Columbus, where train B is 1,800 miles away from Columbus. Or at 11 a.m., train B is right here at about a little over 1,000 miles away from Columbus, and train A is still 1,200 miles away from Columbus. So here it says it's showing representing each train's remaining distance to Columbus over time. So A, compare the distance relative to Columbus from which the trains begin their trip. So if you look here, train B is at 1,200 miles from Columbus, and train A is 1,800 miles away from Columbus. So something you can say here is train A is closer to Columbus than train B, right? It's only 1,200 miles away from Columbus. Train B is 1,800 miles away from Columbus. You can add that data too. Put everything out there that you know. They're looking for certain things that you are saying in your response and giving you, oh, they said that, there's a point. Oh, they said that, there's another point. So you can say train A is 1,200 miles from Columbus, and train B is 1,800 miles from Columbus. So there you go. Question A is done. You want to make sure that you are looking for two-part questions. Here it's very clearly saying, okay, here's question A, now here's question B. Sometimes it's not labeled A and B, so make sure you're answering all the parts of the question. Next it says, Tom claims both trains traveled at the same speed over a certain interval. Remember, speed is distance comparing distance and time. So it's the change in the distance divided by the change in the time. Speed is like a rate of change. It is the slope. So here we can just visually look at it and see, is the slope the same? Tom says both trains traveled at the same speed, have the same slope, where Sarah claims that both trains traveled at different speeds the entire time. So let's look. Tom, I think, is correct. If you look here, from 1 p.m. until 6 p.m., the slope is the same. So Tom, you need to say which one is correct. Tom is correct. The speed, or make them realize that you know that that's the slope of both trains is the same between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. And there you go. So make sure you're answering both questions and put data from the graph to support your answer.